Hello everybody, welcome to the Secret History Living Inside Your Aquarium. Just wanted to give you guys an update on my tank crashes. That was one that crashed, this was one that crashed, this one crashed, and sadly it turns out that the Pandagaras also crashed, which is a real bummer that their tank got it too. So you can see they're right here, and they're approaching 2 years, so that's a bummer. But they just seem to have gotten ick. So all I had to do was turn the temperature up to 84, and I did that very carefully because not only do I have them in here, I have Neocaridina shrimp, blue shrimp, and then I also have the Batis fry that are about 2 months old now. So the panda loaches like very high oxygenation in their water, and they also like cooler water. 65 to 72 is ideal for them. But their ick is clearing up. I actually took the worst of them that I thought were going to die immediately 4 days ago now, and I put them up here in this tank. And in this tank I've used Furin 2, ICX, and General Cure erythromycin at the very beginning, and then just turned the heat up a bit and added a bit of salt, and those things took place over the course of the last 8 days, so didn't do all those things at once. Initially, I treated with Furin 2, erythromycin, that's gram-negative and positive bacteria to attack on both fronts, antibiotics, and then also I did the ICX because the ick seemed to be a stress-induced, probably from the ammonia. I also added a little extra prime with each water change, and literally this was all jungle valve, corkscrew valve, similar to this tank up here too, and I had to rip it all out because it all melted due to that treatment of all the nasty chemicals and all the salt. So what I happily have to say is, though, I haven't lost a single panda loach. This guy is the worst off still, and he can probably move back down with his friends, which that tank's not medicated at all down here. You can see it's still green lush, and then I've got another airline that will be going in there also. The challenge is I'm dunking him in a salt dip before I move them back to their tanks. There is a slight risk of reinfection. They did have slight sores, but this tank's 84, so the spores, or I guess not the spores, but the spawn of the ick should not be able to complete its life cycle. It leaves the fish, lays eggs in the substrate, matures, and then seeks out a fish again, and on and on. Now, interestingly enough, it looks like this, which had levamisole in it and all sorts of stuff, everything I just listed, surprisingly, it still has these darn little guys that everybody hates, crawling all over the glass. Nematodes and things like that, it usually kills, but yeah, it's just, it didn't kill the planaria in here, which really surprised me. But what I'm doing right now is, even though these tanks are looking better, I don't trust them. I think these fish are pretty hardy, these endlers. I made the TDS much higher with the salt and with the treatments and ICX and everything. There's lots more oxygen in here. All the plants are out right now, and I think there's 2 cories in here also, maybe 3 shrimp left in this tank, and then we've got the endlers who are all but healed, luckily now. Granted, most the baby fry all died, which is kind of unusual. Usually it works the other way, where all the adults die, so the big ladies, and this gal right here, she's still struggling. It almost looked like velvet or dropsy or something, but I don't know. I'm just gonna keep treating with a high temp and treating for the ick that way by just stopping its life cycle. It won't help those who are already sick. Now, I'm also trying to get these guys. These are my Caridina malua shrimp that are all up in both these tanks, but primarily the one up top that I'm searching for. And I'm using a turkey baster, and I'm basically just putting out food for them and just casually trying to suck them up when I can, like that. So when I catch them and put them in here. Let's see, he might have gotten stuck on the side. Sometimes I have to kind of slosh it around. They're pretty quick though. When you go with the turkey baster, you definitely have to make sure you get them. But yeah, so I'm cleaning all these tanks out right now, these two. And then this one I'm gonna leave as a QT like it was. This one is just gonna be those shrimp and the panda loaches, as well as the fry in there of the scarlet batis. But because the loaches don't like that high temp, as soon as all the spots are gone for 24 hours, whoever's in there, I will then turn the heat down to probably 82 and then 79 or 78, walk it back down each day. The main thing is you just don't want to shock shrimp. So I had to walk it up, and I did lose some shrimp in the process of doing that gradually. But in the long run, I think I saved more. Also in here, I don't know what I will do with all of these shrimp here. I don't know if they could be a vector for carrying disease now that they've been so exposed in this tank, but I'm a little concerned about that, so they may stay in their own tank. There are just a few fish in this tank, as well as there's a stir-by Corydora and a Triliniatus Corydora in here. And those will probably go into this tank. This tank will hang out for a couple days, and then I'm going to get 4 5-gallon tanks and do, I think, 2 shrimp colonies, shrimp only, or maybe sometimes breeding, nanoscale breeding. And then over here, I think I'm going to do a crib grow out tank for really young cribs until they're able to be with their parents in a 5-gallon, and another 5-gallon to do nano rasboras and things like that. Up here also, I'd like to get rid of a lot of these guppies or endlers, the koi ones. Pick the favorite ones I have, and then give the half beaks the reign, so that they are the only surface dwelling creatures up there, fish wise, so that they can give some live birth. I'd like to accomplish that. I haven't had that happen yet in my tanks, so I think that'd be fun. And then also, I think eventually we'll get rid of this tank too. I mean, I don't know, if you guys think I should keep it, let me know what you think in the comments, what you would do. I'm looking towards tossing all of this, including the net that I just threw in there so I wouldn't use it again. I'm thinking of tossing everything, including maybe even the heater, but I might just bleach or boil the heater. Maybe not boil, that could be bad. I'll take a look on if you can do that. And then these are all cheap filters, relatively speaking. I ended up buying some new filtration options, which we'll have in a video soon. So subscribe if you're interested in seeing how these go. But I love these little corner filters. This is a double stack, and it's supposed to be good up to 50 gallons. I don't believe that, but we'll see. I'm sure it'll work for 5 or 10 really, really well, maybe a 20. But I'll be installing those, and we'll see how it all goes. And I'm gonna try to fish the rest of these fishing shrimp out of here, and I'm sure I will leave dozens, just the nature of it, and probably collect some of the plants, maybe keep them in this tank and do a total 95% water change or whatnot, and leave this tank dirty for another week before I get rid of it and move the Endler line into 2 5s or a 10 or another 20, whatever I end up doing. So let me know what you think I should do. I'm thinking though 4 5s going lengthwise like this one, and then a 20 long again. But I could also do a 20 tall. I could do a 10 and a 5 like that. I could do I can't do 3 10s because of the length, but I can do 3 or 4 5s on each shelf. So I could have a total of 6 separate tanks, and do that pretty inexpensively, really. Just use my backup air line pump. Alright guys, so let me know what you think. Everyone else, a bunch of the quarries and things, anybody who wasn't dead within the first 6 to 12 hours of it hitting, it was Vibrio. I went to the university, it was confirmed, and I'm surprised these shrimp are still pregnant after all those medications and things. If they hatch, they'll be a miracle. But everybody seems to be okay. I'm assuming this tank got infected just because of water or plants dripping or something, maybe condensation along the airline with the heat up in this room. I don't know, but that's what's going on. It looks like we saved a good deal of fish. I'm just going to consider my blue lightning bolt line a goner. There are some hybrids upstairs that I could always try to revive back into the line, but I'm just kind of done with it. So, all right, guys, take care of your critters and tanks, plants, and the people around you. And once you've done that, you know, take care of yourself, because if you can't do that, I mean, if you're not around, you can't do the first two. And so, you know, do that. And I think if we all do that, the world would be quite a bit better. So I'll talk to you guys next time. Hang in there, and let me know where you want to see this go next. I'm thinking nano breeding and new shrimp species, though. All right, take care. I'll talk to you later. So I'm on.